Hey everybody, what's going on? It's the Old World Gamer, and today I'm doing a response video to Mada Games, and he's tagged me again in another video, and he's asking us to basically pick 5 games from any genre you like, and tell him what your 5 favorite games are from that genre. And so I've picked the fighting genre. Why? Well, because there's tons and tons and tons of fighting games, and the 5 prominent series to me, well, I'll explain each of them as they come up, because I'm not picking the 5 games specifically. I'm actually going to pick 5 series from that genre, from the fighting genre. And the very first one, number 5, is going to be Mortal Kombat. That's right, Mortal Kombat was first released, I think, in '92 or something. So, I mean, it's been around for a while. It's had a lot of spin-offs. The first one, it was the first game to introduce fatalities and actually finishing and killing your opponent. Ooh! And, I mean, the fatalities were pretty hardcore for back in '92. Like, Johnny Cage ripped your heart out, and Scorpion took off his mask and revealed that he's a skeleton, and he catches you on fire. I mean, they were pretty good fatalities. And then the second one came out not too long after that, and that one was even better. More characters, the gameplay was more fun, the characters looked better, everything was better about the game, the music, everything. And with that also came more fatalities, and not just one per character, but this time each character had at least 2. Some had a little more. There was one like Shang Tsung. He used to use Kintaro's body blow. Oh. He used to use Kintaro's body blow, which was basically like a 30-second finishing move. Like, it was ridiculously hard on how you're supposed to do it, but once you got it down, you turn into Kintaro and you just punched off the top of your opponent's torso. So that's Mortal Kombat. Now, number 4 is going to be, and I don't know, and not many people are going to like this, but it's going to be the Street Fighter series, and I'll tell you why. I played a lot of Street Fighter, and I do love the series, and you're wondering, whoa, why the fuck is it at number 4? I chose Street Fighter for many different reasons. Obviously, it's one of the best series that was ever out there. It had a lot of movies, additional games. I mean, I'm pretty sure it had way more than Mortal Kombat did. And people love those games. They love playing with the arcades. All the gameplay was engaging. They started getting into combos more and stuff. I mean, it was a really good series. And I mean, everyone knows who Ryu is, Chun-Li, E Honda. I mean, all the originals from the first, well, Street Fighter 2. There's one before that, like, was it Fighting Street or something like that? And the game was okay, but in my opinion, it was the first Street Fighter game was not the best. It was released in '87, so I mean, it was a long time ago. I mean, like I said, Mortal Kombat, the first Mortal Kombat was out in '92. This one came out in '87. So I mean, the most recent game is Street Fighter versus Tekken or something like that, or Street Fighter X Tekken, whatever it's called. I'm just having a look here on the screen for some of the info here. That was only released earlier this year, so it's a great series. I love this series. I'm a huge fan of both Ryu, Vega. I've also used Zangief a lot. I never got to play much of the newer series. I actually got Street Fighter 4. I never got to play much yet because I got back into retro games, obviously. And but I'd say my favorite of the series has got to be Super Street Fighter 2, which brought in DJ and Cammy. What? So yeah, that's my number 4 choice. Now, number 3. Number 3 is going to be the King of Fighters series. And the reason I chose King of Fighters is because it's been around probably as long as Street Fighter 2. It was always out in the arcades. I used to always see it as a kid and I always wanted to play it. I never got to play it much except for when I used to come into the bigger towns to play the arcade games. And the only way I did get to play it was for the fact that I was able to find a nice Neo Geo emulator, and I found that the series. I think it was all the way up to 98. I think it was 95, 96, 98, and yeah, the reason I like the game so much is because it had a shitload of characters, and I mean a lot. The gameplay was fun. The combos were great, very engaging. I loved that game. It was great. It was way more fun than Street Fighter, in my opinion. That's just the way I feel. Now, I got the King of Fighters game for PlayStation 2, which was probably not the best that I've played for, you know, fighting games and stuff. So that brought it down a little bit. But I mean, other than that, I mean, King of Fighters 98, which is the one I probably played the most of, is like, oh, I love that. I love that fighting game. It's so good. And I've been thinking about doing an arcade segment, I guess, for my channel, because I've been wanting to play some of the arcade games, and that would be one of the games that I would definitely start playing as well. So, yeah, King of Fighters was a big Neo Geo title. A lot of people liked it. I mean, from what I can see, the Japanese like to have at least a new game every year. That's how good it was. You know what I mean? So I mean, it was a real, it's a real disappointment that we didn't have more of it over here in North America. The first one was released in '94, and you know, I don't even know when we got our first one. It was probably the one for fucking PlayStation or PlayStation 2 or something. Maybe if you had I think it was a Sega Saturn. I know a lot of Street Fighter games came in for Sega Saturn, but I'm not sure about the King of Fighters as much. But again, that's my third favorite fighting genre series. So I guess next would be number 2. And number 2 is going to be Soul Calibur. I love Soul Calibur. Such a fun game. I like the fact that there's a story mode, that there's you can do ring outs, there's all kinds of moves, you can do different grabs, different throws, different counters. It's really, really good for that. And I like the fact that you could have all these different kinds of weapons. Like, everybody had their own specific type of weapon that they used, but there were so many different varieties and modifications for them, I guess. Like, you know, like, you could have a dummy weapon, which, like, one girl had a mop, and another one had a wooden sword. I think it's Mitsurugi or something. But I mean, it was pretty fun. I think Link, in number 2, they gave Link the butterfly net or something. So I mean, and that's another fun thing about the game, is that they always like to introduce other game-based characters. They've had Link, they've had Darth Vader, they've had Yoda, they've had Spawn, they've had like a bunch of people, and it's really, I find the game so much fun. I love playing that game. Favorite character for me would be Keelik. I like to use Nightmare sometimes. Taki. That bitch loves having a camel toe. Who else? I don't know, there's a bunch of characters. Valdo, oh god, Ivy, jeez. Anyways, great game, so much fun. And I would suggest anybody to play it. It's just very unique. I like that everything about it. You can, you know, the weapons can hit off of each other, and you know, I mean, the fatalities and stuff that they brought into Mortal Kombat, they're nice and all, but I mean, I just like a well-rounded fighting game that, you know, everybody and anybody has a chance, you know, to win. A button masher can win, an all-around player can win, a seasoned player can win, you know, and that's the way fighting games should be. Now, the moment you've been waiting for, I guess, the very first, the number 1, my very favorite fighting series is, and I should probably give you the number 1. Still waiting, yeah. The number 1 series for me for fighting, Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive is probably one of my, well, it is my favorite fighting series, and those games are just incredible. I was not prepared for it when I first played it. I thought it was really shitty first because I was horrible at the game. Of course, every time you first play a game, you're horrible at it. So I thought, you know, I'm playing this game horribly and I'm not having fun. I don't like this game. But then I learned you can block, you can counter, and you can grab. There's throws, there's everything in this game. It's 3D, it looks good. Knocking the opponent off of a cliff or off of a house and onto another one or onto the ground or something, it just feels awesome. It feels like you're actually there getting to fight all the different types of fighting styles. I mean, you're not limited to, oh, well, you know, E Honda, well, obviously he's a sumo wrestler, so he's going to do sumo moves. But, like, these people they don't have to fit the description of a fighter specifically. Like, you know, you got this big biker dude who's, you know, actually a wrestler. And then you have his daughter who's this, you know, hot blonde chick who's also a wrestler. Then you got this long-haired, I can't remember if his hair is like purplish or bluish or something maybe, or gray, but he's a drunken fighter. Oh my God! When that game came out and I found out I can you know, play as a drunken, you know, fighter. Oh, it was so much fun. It's being Jackie Chan, you know, Legend of the Drunken Master. But yeah, the game was so awesome. Just the different grabs, being able to counter, and then like the multi grabs. So like you do one move, and then it gives you a second, and you can do another grab, and then you can do another grab, and like, oh, it's just so much fun. And I gotta be honest. The fighting series itself, it was very hard to choose which ones I liked more than the others, because again, thinking about that makes me think of Soul Calibur, and then Soul Calibur makes me think of like Street Fighter, and Street Fighter always makes me think of King of Fighters. And I mean, quite honestly, the first or the last four, like, not including Mortal Kombat, because Mortal Kombat, quite honestly, is probably my least favorite of all the series for sure. That's why it's on the bottom, obviously. But the other four were really, really hard to choose from. And the only reason why Soul Calibur and Dead or Alive come up there is because the 3D aspect. I do like the 2D fighters games, like the original Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and King of Fighters games. And I know that they all went to 3D afterwards, but just nothing still compared to Soul Calibur and Dead or Alive. At least not for me anyways. I mean, that's what I really, really enjoyed. So, God damn, this video is 13 minutes already. So, Chris, there you have my response to your tag video, man. So I hope you enjoyed. That is my 5 favorite fighting series, and I thank everybody for watching, especially, you know, again, for you, Chris Mada, and everybody else from my channel, from his channel, wherever else you're from. Thank you for watching, guys. I'm the Old World Gamer. I'll see you guys soon.